Good morning. Welcome to our NDEAM webinar. It's called Unlocking Talent, Employer Resources for Inclusive Hiring, and it is hosted by Workforce Solutions Rural Capital Area in partnership with Texas Workforce Solutions Vocational Rehabilitation Services. Each October, we join in celebrating National Disability Employment Awareness Month, or NDEAM. It's a time to recognize the vital contributions of workers with disabilities and to reaffirm our commitment to inclusive workplaces. This year is especially meaningful. It's marking the 80th anniversary of NDEAM, which is really great. It's 8 decades of progress towards greater equity, opportunity, and inclusion. Things that are very, very important to me and to a lot of other people in workforce development. The 2025 theme is called Celebrating Value and Talent, and that reminds us that every individual brings unique strengths to the workplace. Inclusion isn't just the right thing to do, it's a powerful way to strengthen teams, spark innovation, and build thriving businesses. Today, we'll explore how employers can open doors to new talent pipelines and access valuable supports that make inclusive hiring easier and more effective. You'll also hear about resources available through Texas Workforce Solutions Vocational Rehabilitation Services, or VR, and how partnerships like these create win-win outcomes for businesses and employees alike. It's now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker and my close friend, Arthur Jones. He is the Business Relations Coordinator with Texas Workforce Solutions Vocational Rehabilitation Services, VR. Arthur is retired from the U.S. Army with more than 24 years of distinguished service. After retiring in 2011, he earned his MBA from Texas A&M University, sharpening his skills in business management and strategic leadership. Today, Arthur plays a key role in connecting employers with resources that support inclusive hiring and workplace accessibility. He leads training initiatives across several Texas counties, including Travis, Bastrop, Blanco, Burnett, Caldwell, and Williamson, and provides expert guidance on workplace accommodations, disability awareness, and the use of assistive technologies. Arthur's passion for community service and workforce inclusion has made him a trusted partner for employers and a strong advocate for individuals with disabilities. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Arthur Jones as he helps us explore how to unlock talent and celebrate the value that every individual brings to the workplace.
Thank you, Brian, for the warm greeting. Good morning, everyone. I will touch on a few things. I would like to share my screen and get set up here first, so bear with me. On this map, our region is broken down. Our division is broken down into 6 regions, and in each region, there are 2 business relations coordinators. And the reason I'm sharing this map is because they do what I do. And if you ever need some assistance within your organization, or if you need some help with any type of disability, individual with disabilities in your organization, these co-workers of mine can help you with any kind of training, any updates that you may need to be done within your organization. So this is their locations. I am in Region 3 with my counterpart, Jonathan Mice, which is up in the Waco area. I cover the Austin area, but these are the locations and contact information for those individuals or those coworkers of mine that do exactly what I do. Okay, so we're going to talk about the disability. What is a disability and how it is in the workplace? Well, the American with Disabilities Act defined it like this. An individual with a disability is a person who has a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities, or 2, has a record of such an impairment, or 3, is regarded as having such an impairment. So in saying that, you could see a person in a wheelchair or with a guide dog or a walking stick, things. You can see that that is an individual with a disability. But there's also individuals that you can't see. You can't see their disabilities. Person with diabetes, a person with cataracts, or a person with a mental issue. So those individuals, disabilities cover or ranges for individuals with or without a disability. So with that being said, what are our VR programs? Well, first, let's talk about what is VR and What is our mission? VR is the state's principal authority on vocational rehabilitation for Texans with disabilities. We help individuals with disabilities obtain, maintain employment, and lead a more independent life. So what is our mission and how do we do that? Well, we help people with disabilities prepare for, obtain, retain, or advance in employment by providing individualized service and support. Okay, so what type of services? How do we help individuals with these get employment and maintain and retain employment? Well, a wide range of rehabilitation and employment services are available to help individuals with disabilities prepare for, secure, and maintain meaningful employment. These services are designed to promote independence, skill development, and long-term career success. They include vocational counseling and guidance, which personalize support to identify career goals and develop employment plans. They also include referrals and examinations, which assist in obtaining hearing, visual, and other necessary medical assessments. Medical and treatment support coordinations of appointments and assist to essential medical care. And we also do some therapy services, which is occupational, speech, and behavioral therapies to strengthen daily and work-related skills. We also do education and training assistance support for college, trade certifications, on-the-job training, and workplace readiness. We do skill development programs, including vocational adjustment training and employer expectation education. We also do specialized services for individuals who are blind and visually impaired, such as Braille instructions, orientation and mobility training, and home and health management skills. We also do employment support, including job matching, supported employment, and job placement assistance. Together, these services ensure that individuals have the resources, skills, and confidence to achieve successful and sustainable employment outcomes. So also with our youth, we help them prepare for post-secondary education. And if they are not going to post-secondary education opportunities, we help them with their employment opportunities as well. So, but we try to get them as young as we can. And our youngest is from the ages of 14 on up. So we try to get them as early as we can to work with them, to work on their skills and get them geared up for employment and make sure that they are ready. Either employment, let me say it like this, either employment or post-secondary education. So with all of that being said, business services, that's where I come in at. And how do I help the customer, the counselors, and the employer bring all of it together? So business services provides diverse solutions and resources to Texas businesses through outreach, consultation, technical assistance to assist with recruitment and retention of qualified candidates. And so that's what we look for. So, and we're more than just a state program. We partner in building a stronger and more inclusive Texas workforce through proactive outreach, personalized consultations, and ongoing technical assistance. We help businesses connect with talented, qualified candidates, including individuals with disabilities who bring real value to your team. Our focus is not just to bring hiring, but on creating substantial retention strategies to help employers reduce turnover, enhancing productivity, and strengthening workplace diversity. So those are the things that we do as business relations coordinators in helping bring everything together. What are some of the services that we provide? Well, VR Services offers a variety of services specifically for businesses. Whether your need is to provide a good employee, find a good employee, value an employee, or just simply learn more about accommodating an employee with a disability. VR has the experts who can help. VR counselors work in partnership with you so we can understand your business needs and expectations. With this partnership, we can tailor our services to best fit your needs and refer qualified individuals for employment opportunities within your team. So let's talk about some of the initiatives or some of the benefits of hiring a person with a disability. And I would like to start off with the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. So what is the Work Opportunity Tax Credit? So when you, as an employer, hire a qualified job seeker and complete IRS Form 8850, which is the pre-screening notice and certification request, and the ETS Form 9061, which is the individual's characteristics form, you can receive direct federal tax savings ranging from $1,200 up to $9,600 per qualified employee. And all forms and instructions are available on the download on the TWC website listed on the slide. Now, I would like to click on this, but I clicked on it before and it popped up. But since we had technical difficulties before, I am afraid to click on it because it might throw me into a whole new whirlwind and cause us a whole other problem. But we will share these slides with you. And if you click on that form, it will take you to the website and it'll give you the contact information, all of the information for an employer, or if you're an employee, what the benefits are, when to file, everything like that, and how to file. But I'm going to come back to this a little bit later and give a little bit more information, but we're going to go to the next slide. That's another benefit for employers, which is the paid work experience. All right. Now, a lot of people are like, wait a minute, paid work experience. I've been with employers and I've tried to explain this to them, and they think that I might be running a scam, but it's a real thing. This is a real thing. So I am going to talk about it. What is the paid work experience and how does it work? Okay, the paid work experience is a short-term employment opportunity for Texans with disability. This service is designed to help participants develop job skills and increase their employability. The program enables individuals to be placed with a community-based business or agency where TWC pays their wages. And that's where a lot of employers, what you mean they pay the wages? So I have to explain that to them quite a bit. And sometimes I'm leaving them scratching their head. So I'm going to explain it just like this. How does it work? Well, the duration of the paid work experience is a 12-week or fewer program, which is part-time, and it doesn't exceed 20 hours a week. Okay. The compensation on it, how it works is the participants receive wages for their time and their job on the job site from the TWC VRC, from us, through the local workforce boards and the local workforce boards. And together we handle the payroll, the associated costs, including federal tax withholding and workers' compensation insurance while they are on the job being employed with you. How does placement and support work? Well, the VR program develops work opportunities and monitors each work site to ensure a good fit. For participants who need additional support, our VR services provide also work with employment services. And those are the trainers that would go in and train the employee on what their skills or tasks are on the job and make sure that they're doing it efficiently and being a productive member of the team. So what is the goal? The primary goal is to help individuals gain valuable real-world work experience in a supportive environment. It is not intended to be a permanent placement with the work experience site. However, I would say this, it is our goal to always get someone permanently hired on the job. So after that desired period of time, whether it's 12 weeks or less, if you so choose, this guy or this gal is a good fit, let's hire them. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and let them come under your payroll and you guys pick up just like a regular employee and go from there. So who's eligible for the paid work experience? And it's eligible for any VR customers, which can include both students and youth with disabilities, as well as adults. So those are the people that are available for this thing. So now one thing I need to go back to the tax credit. So if you so choose to hire an individual with a disability, you have 28 days from the time you hire them to fill out the forms and necessary forms, those 2 forms I told you about, and submit them to the IRS. And once you submit them to the IRS, they'll take it from there. But what we don't want is to go through the paid work experience, hire them for a little while, fill out the tax credit form, and then release them. We want permanent hires. We want somebody that's going to really hire someone with a disability and be supportive. And that is our goal. So how can you, as an employer, make a change? What does your organization need to do to be a greater employee of people with disabilities? How does that work? Well, there's 4 things I ask of you. And that is learn, connect, lead, and promote. Learn what type of disabilities that you have within your organization and how you can support those individuals. Connect with other organizations, whether it's another business or organizations like ours with the Texas Workforce Commission, Vocational Rehabilitation Services, and find out how they deal with or support their employees with disabilities. Lead by example and demonstrate your expectations within your organizational culture. And promote. A clear culture of inclusion within your organization is vital, because I will say this, and I say this quite a bit, culture trumps policy every time. And if you have a good written out policy or of inclusion with people with disabilities, however, your culture is not conducive to that policy, then there might be some tensions. But if you get out there and promote it and have a clear culture of inclusion with your organization, I believe that it will be a great benefit. It's a win-win situation for you, the employer, your employees, and the community as a whole. Okay, now, what I would like to do is talk about assistive technology. That's one of the biggest keys that I think a lot of employers, they'll get a sticking point on, because they're going to feel that it's going to affect their bottom line and it's going to hinder them from hiring an individual with a disability. Now, yes and no. I'm going to say that, and once I explain, you'll be able to have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. First, let's talk about what the Disability Act of 1988 says about equipment first. All right. And it said any item of or piece of equipment or product system acquired commercially, off the shelf, modified, or customized and used to increase, maintain, or improve functional capability for individuals with disabilities. That could be a modified car. That could be, and we help with that too, mind you. Or that could be anything that we have purchased for the individual, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, and anything that can help you as the employer hire an individual with disabilities. All right, there are three types of assistive technologies that are out there. There are no tech, which requires little or nothing. And most people, there's a lot of people out there with disabilities that don't require any technology. All right. And then there's low tech, those things that just make work easier for those individuals that have a disability, and high tech. And I agree, those high tech technologies will cost a little bit. However, with working together, I think we can come up with a great solution for helping those individuals. So let's first talk about no tech. All right. I'm going to give an example of no tech. There was an individual that was hired at a warehouse, and great worker, excellent worker. Only had a problem with when they told him, hey, go to station 23 and get this product and bring it back, so we can finish what we're doing over here. What we're doing over here. Well, what happened was this individual would leave and would be gone anywhere from 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes, and then would come back empty-handed. And they were confused, like, wait a minute, we just sent you to go. Where were you been? What happened? And he would try to explain, I've been trying to look for this product and I can't find it or anything like this. So I commend the employer for thinking and reaching back out to the counselor and asking, wait a minute, hey, this guy's a good worker, but every time we send him somewhere, he's having a problem of coming back with the product that we sent him to go get. And so they had a conversation. They sent us business relations coordinators out to look at the business to see what was going on. We sat down and talked to the counselor before we left. We got there and we talked to the employee, and we discovered one thing. So we went back to the employer and told him, hey, look, he's not, what the problem is he's dyslexic. So when you send him to go look for area 23, he's looking for area 32. And there's no area 32 in your whole warehouse. So we made the suggestion of, hey, how about you just print out some letters and run through the alphabet and place them instead of having numbers, just place letters there. And it worked out fine for him. And that was a no-tech solution and a reasonable accommodation for that employee. And it worked out, and to this day, he's still working at that organization. So, and these on the screen are just a few things that you can do as no-tech solutions to a problem. And I give you one more. We had a young lady who was in a wheelchair, and she started working with an organization. And so she put in for a reasonable accommodation to get a new desk, and the reason being is because her wheelchair was too high and she was unable to get under the desk and get close enough to work on her, keyboard and things of that nature. So they reached out to us as business relations coordinators, went out and made an assessment to find out. And they were complaining, hey, this desk is going to be quite a bit, and we're going to have to make some arrangements, and we're not going to get it in time, and all the things. So what we came up with was, how about you just get some wooden blocks and put under the desk and raise the desk up until you get the new desk, if you need the new desk afterwards. But the little small change that we made and the blocks that we put under the desk was just enough accommodations for the employee so she can go ahead and do her job, because she wanted to do the best. and the employer wanted her to be there. So they raised her desk up, everybody was happy, and she's still working to this day. So those are no-tech technologies that can be used within the workspace. So let's talk about no-tech. No-tech, I'm gonna give you another example while y'all look at the screen there. And those are right-handed keyboards and magnifying glasses, those are types of low-tech technology that can be used. Now, we had another low-tech technology we had an individual that was visually impaired, and at the work site, and she could not see her screen. And she kept complaining. They called us business relations coordinators in and our assistive technology team. We went in and we looked at the environment, and we noticed a particular thing. The window was giving a glare on her screen. So what we had to do was say, hey, can we cover that window? Because there was no blind there. So can we cover the window or tint the window? And then we also brought her, I don't know if you've, in our organization, we have them, and I've seen them on some businesses I went to. They have like an umbrella because the lighting from above shines down on the computer screen, and they put an umbrella above to block out that light or dim that light a little bit. So because some organizations, if you turn off the light, the whole light in the whole room goes out. So you can't do that and then hinder somebody else from working. So they put the umbrella up to allow that individual to still be able to function in a lower light environment to get away from the glare and everything like that. So that is an example of low-tech technology, as well as those things that are on the screen. Okay, so let's look at some high-tech technologies. Now, there are categories in high-tech technology. There is communication aids, computer access aids, hearing and listening aids, vision, and reading aids. All right, let's take those one at a time and let's break them down. Communications aids, items and equipment designed or adapted to help people with communicative disabilities, such as speech disabilities or writing disabilities. And we'll go into a little bit of those as we go on. And like the last slide showed, or 2 slides back showed, we talk about basic augmentative communication, such as boards with pictures, devices, or alphabet letters. I use that as an example for the person with dyslexia. Or high sophisticated speaking computers with on-screen communication boards or auditory or visual scanning. And those are those like scanners that read books and texts and things of that nature for those individuals with so they can understand better. So let's talk about additional communication aids, such as speech aids and writing and typing aids. Alternative and adaptive communications provide ways for individuals with speech or language challenges to express their needs, feelings, and ideas through the use of both electronic and non-electronic tools. These communication support, which include communication boards and technology, which are visual and digital tools that allow users to select words, symbols, or images to convey messages. Speech synthesizers, which are which are devices or products that generate spoken word from typed or selected text. And then you have the text-to-speech software, which convert written text into audible speech, enabling communications through computers, tablets, or even phones. Then you got hand wands, light pointers, and mouth pointers. All right. Together, these tools bridge communication barriers, empowering individuals to participate more fully in daily life, education, and work environments. Then you have those things which are called tactile adaptive learning tools. And these are assistive technologies for individuals with visual or physical challenges, often include tactile and adaptive devices that support reading, writing, and communications in everyday settings. These tools enhance independence and efficiency through Braille devices, note-taking devices, or spelling aids. And those spelling aids, they allow users to record, organize, and review information efficiently. You also have, work prediction or completion software. And those are some softwares, I'm sure you guys have even seen them or used them on your own computer, where you're typing something and then all of a sudden words pop up. And as you see those words pop up, oh, that's exactly what I say. So you either have to hit tab or space, and it takes you over to the next thing what you're about to type. And it predicts what you're trying to say as you're writing, And then you got those modified keyboards, which would have larger letters on the keys and things of that nature, or Braille on the keyboard. Together, these tools promote great accessibility, productivity, and independence, ensuring users can efficiently learn, work, and communicate in any environment. Okay, computer access aids. What are these? Well, these are hardware and software products that enable people with disabilities to access, interact with, and use computers at home, business environments, or at school. And as you can see on the screen, there are switches that activate by touch screens, scanning programs, and dictation software that help. And these are all things that allow people with disabilities to interact with computers. Alternative input devices. And these are some of the examples. We're talking about adaptive keyboards, ergonomic mouses or pointing systems, head direction or mouth operated pointing devices, voice recognition or voice command software, on-screen keyboards, cursor enlargement software, and ergonomic computer-based equipment. All of these, I must admit, they're very expensive, but I'm sure that us as an organization and you as an employer organization, we can come and work together to try to figure out how we can best help each other employ individuals with disabilities that need this type of equipment or assistive technology. Alternative output devices. These are computer-based output products that generally enable people with vision loss to use or interact with computers. And, they have some computers that interact with Braille devices that give that individual the ability to read what's on the screen through Braille and Braille embossing and screen reading software. Okay, what is accessible software? Today's technology, everything has accessible software in it already built in. Your laptops, your phones, your gaming systems, everything that you can think of pretty much already have it. Because if you look into your settings, you will find that accessible area in your settings on your phone, or like I said, on your computer. And what that does, it gives you different types of abilities for a person with disabilities to interact with those computer programs or any type of media software or program or laptop, computers, iPad, notepad, whatever kind of pad you got, it will help you help that individual with those disabilities. All right. So hearing and listening aids. Now, as you're reading that on the screen, I'm going to say this. A lot of employers' insurance covers vision, covers dental, covers workman's compensation on the job, injuries, things like that. But a lot of insurances don't cover hearing aids. A lot of employers or a lot of employees come to our organization to receive services for hearing aids because, and this is where I get into having a culture of inclusiveness, having a culture of understanding, because a lot of employees are afraid to come to the HR or to the employer and or the manager, supervisor, and ask for reasonable accommodations. And so they come to us, because they're afraid that they might get fired. And we don't want that. We're looking for people to be retained at their job. So we'll assist them by sending them for getting an assessment, a hearing test, and find out what type of hearing aids would work best for them. And we will try our best to get them the most up-to-date technological, I can't even say that word, hearing aids that would help them listen better and perform their jobs to the best of their abilities. Okay, vision and reading aids. There is a diverse range of innovative tools available today to support individuals who are blind or visually impaired in assessing information, communicating, and performing daily tasks with independence and confidence. These tools include screen magnifying software, which enlarge on-screen text and images for users with low vision. You also have screen reader or narration software, which convert digital text to speech, allowing users to navigate and interact with computers and mobile, can't even say that word, and mobile devices audibly. Then you have optical character recognition software, and that scans and reads printed text aloud or converts it into digital editable formats. I am tongue-tied right now. I need some water. Then you have your Braille translation software, transforms digital text into Braille for tactical reading. And we talked about that before with the software on that tactical reading part, that we have those devices, matter of fact, and we can help get those devices. So, and all these other devices that they have on here, Braille input technology, Braille output technology, and those applications or for your phone and things of that nature. Together, these technologies empower individuals with vision loss or low vision loss to work, learn, and live more independently, bridging accessibility gaps and engaging in high quality of life. Okay, so we have a team. We have a team that is an assistive technology team. That assistive technology team is awesome. They go out and what they do is, if you're going to hire as an employer a person with a disability, and they have a visual impairment, they will go out and they will see if your software is compatible with that individual's equipment. And if it is, great. If not, they make suggestions and say, hey, look, this person might need this type of software or that type of software on your operating system to better help, or better help that individual perform their tasks and things of that nature. They'll do pre-employment training to make sure that person understand their job description and their tasks and what they're supposed to do. And they also insist the employer on onboarding new hires. Make sure they'll show up at the work site, make sure that they're shown around, and make sure they have a good understanding of where to go and how to be, where to be rather, and what is around them so they are better able to function in your work environment. Okay, So these are some of the things for that assistive technology team and how they work and operate. They will also make recommendations on the type of equipment that employers can purchase, not only just the software, but equipment that might be needed for their thing. Now, I want to give you an example. I want to do a good shout out to Amazon. Amazon at this time, I want to tell you about, they hired an individual of ours that was fully blind to work in their warehouse. We brought in a team, and that team instructed that employee of where their workstation was, what's on their workstation, how to replenish their workstation, where the replenishment parts were for that workstation, and everything like that. They took their time and showed that individual what everything was. Only problem was we needed to make another reasonable accommodation, because the problem was the person, because the warehouse was so big, the person had a problem or a barrier to get from their workstation to the replenishment area and back to their workstation. So we decided we're going to put some tape down so when they're using their walking device, their walking cane, they could feel the tape as they're walking. It worked great for a while until those forklifts started moving around, or those independent machines started moving around and started messing up the tape. So what we came up with was, okay, let's pull the tape up, let's put some string down, and let's put some tape over that string and see how that works. And sure enough, she was able to feel the bumps of that tape with that string and underneath it, and was able to go from point A to point B and back to point A without no problem. And as far as my knowledge is concerned, she is still working at Amazon to this day. So those, once again, I wanted to just throw that out there, has the assistive technology team went out, and how we all went out to assess the environment and was able to come up with a solution, and she was still able to maintain employment. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That was another no-tech technology or low-tech technology that we were able to do for that individual, and us working as a team with the employer to create an environment that was suitable for that person with a visual impairment, right? Uh-oh, where's my slide? Okay, so I am coming to the end. I think I broke the barrier on my presentation for speed, but I think because we started so late, I think we're going to be good. Now, our organization is located on 101 East 15th Street. That is, if you go down 15th Street down in Austin, you will see our building, and the Capitol is right behind our location. That's our main office. All right. And let me go to my next slide. Our organization is funded over 70% funded by federal funds. And I wanted to throw that on there so you can see where some of our funding is going and coming from and going to, and how we are able to provide for our individuals or our customers with disabilities. What's going on? There we go. All the information that I talked about today, I pulled, these are my sites, and these are my sites that I pulled that information from. And I just wanted to share that with you so you could go to these sites and pull that same information that I provided for you and things of that nature. Once again, my name is Arthur Jones. I am the Business Relations Coordinator for Texas Workforce Solutions Vocational Rehabilitation Services in Central Texas Region 3. I appreciate your time. I thank you, Brian, for inviting me. And I would like to ask, are there any questions on what I just discussed?
No questions in the chat so far.
Thank you, Giovanni. Thank you, Bernie. Okay, so at this time, once again, my name is Arthur Jones. I am the Business Relations Coordinator for Region 3. I want to thank you for your time. I thank you for your patience from our earlier start. And I want to thank Brian for allowing me to come in, and Giovanni for monitoring the chat for me. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much, Brian.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Arthur. We really appreciate you, and thank you for everybody for taking part in this. Again, we've shared Arthur's contact information in the chat. We've also provided the links that he shared on screen, both to VR Services main web page on the Texas Workforce Commission's website, but then also the process to actually go through and start actually applying for some of these great programs that you can go ahead and benefit from. Again, in celebrating National Disability Employment Awareness Month, really the key here is just not recognizing disability, it's recognizing the ability. It's what everyone can do to really increase your bottom line. And as you've heard right now directly from the source, the state of Texas, the Texas Workforce Commission, and VR Services, and your workforce boards are all working in collaboration to make sure that you have what you need as an employer to really grow your operations and really, create some recruitment and retention strategies that include folks with disabilities who are only going to increase your bottom line. What we're going to do is go ahead and actually record all of this, edit it a little bit, maybe cut out some of the parts from the beginning, and then we'll go ahead and share a link to the video to everyone that's participated, and then we'll also be sharing this out to the general public as well. So if there's no more questions, we'll go ahead and kind of wrap up everything. But again, if you have any other questions, direct them directly over to Arthur or the team, or you can send it over to us and we'll relay them back to them. All right, great.
Brian,
well, thank you so much.
Brian, you guys have a YouTube channel for World Cap that you guys have got previous events stored on, and you're going to post this one to your YouTube channel?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? We'll send it out to everybody in an email as a follow-up email that will actually show this recording as well. Okay. So then that way, if anybody has any more information about some of the past webinars we've hosted, and also we'll also add your information to possibly our newsletter so we can send you more information about some upcoming webinars and things that we have planned throughout the year. Again, disability employment awareness doesn't only have to happen in October. It's something that we should be aware of all year round. And we'll be working with our partners at VR Services to offer you some resources throughout the year so that you are maximizing your potential and really recruiting and retaining some of the best employees you can ever possibly have. So thank you all so much for taking part, and we appreciate you. And please stay tuned for more information. All right, take care. Bye-bye.